Alright. Welcome everybody. Finally I'm here. Just had to finish up on some stuff, but we're good to go now. And perfectly in time as well for the first turn to end. We have the final match of this best of 3 here. The winner moves on, the loser is eliminated from the tournament. Yeah, that's definitely... We'll see. We will see how this plays out. We have orange Iroquois this time around. This is a pretty old map actually I'm using, so I haven't adjusted the color scheme yet for my spectating Sith. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, that's not too terrible. Alright, there is huts on the map, so that's at least something I didn't forget this time around. And I didn't set up the embassies yet, unfortunately, so I'll have to do that over the course of these first couple of turns. And anything else is all good. We can see the starts here, no scouts, so that's perfect for us. No action to keep track of. And again, I have recently adjusted my sound settings, so if I'm too loud or too silent or anything is at all problematic with that, you can let me know, of course. Alright, getting these embassies out. Alright, no granary rushes there for the southern team, but Celts and Iroquois both, I thought, just straight chopping for their granaries. Vivid a little bit bummed out by the fact that he had to move one turn for the river, but of course the southern team only has one agricultural civ, and they also had to move one to the river, so I think that actually favors the northern team in terms of the river positions. This is one of my favorite maps. My favorite map of the old sword. It's not the old sword, but it's my favorite map that I haven't made within these last couple of weeks, I should say. The main reason is that you can plant on this tile right here, or this tile right here. And if you do that, then you can have a canal city where you can build ships and land somebody down here through this inland lake. And that's what I want to see from these guys here. If they do any boating plays, I want to see this city and make the canal. But we'll see. Alright. In any case, these first couple of turns are underway. No scouts on the map, as I said, so really not that much action to keep track of for now. These guys still figuring out what to do with this map. I took a bit of a gamble here, choosing a map that isn't all too recent, so it's not perfectly symmetrical or balanced, but I think it's just a really fun map, so I definitely wanted to play it. Yeah, I'm now trying to get these spies planted, of course. Of course, it's not starting out very well. Alright, at least that one worked. In my testing runs, I always land all my spies, and then in the tournament it never works out. But yeah. Alright, we got 2 of 4. Fair enough. My spy is not working out too well. Alright, let's see how Vivid and Readbob play this one if they choose to go for the early luxury hooking strategies. This one though, the luxuries are pretty far away from all the starting positions, so they can't just road them straight away, which might be a little bit of a nerf to their strategy. I also realize right now that this spice here might be a little bit weird, although Vivid has his own luxury quite nearby, although yeah, never mind. I'm not sure. This is not perfectly symmetrical and fair in that sense, but it's I definitely try to give everybody roughly equal stuff, so I don't think it's a terribly unfair map or anything. Yeah, just that. The first, as well as the best of the 4 forest luxuries, is more close to the northern team, I think, so maybe that balances it out a bit. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, yeah, this is what I want you guys to know. It's just a little bit of an older map, so it's not all symmetrical. Not sure what exactly he's talking about. I'm not 100% sure there what he's talking about. What exactly their team lacks and their opponent have. Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure what he's referring to. But I guess we'll talk about that after the game, as Vivid likes to do. And I do too, so. Alright. I just want to tell him that Elk also had to walk a tile to get the river, but it would be an advantage. He could simply have known that by looking at the score. Oh yeah, Readbob knows it, so there's no point really. Yeah, it's all good. Really, it's all good so far. Don't think this is anything unusual on this one. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Con has been made, I think, already between the southern partners. We'll see if they get to these huts anytime soon. Give me that, give me that. Alright. Alright. So these granaries now coming out for the northern team, looks like. And no warriors towards them yet, so there's really no danger at all for them at this point. Looking pretty decent for them right now. And they both, the only thing I worried about is they both have picked a big upgrade civs, especially Celts, so expensive in terms of upgrading. So I don't think they have the commerce necessary to really do all these big upgrades. So it might be a bit tough there. We see the slave now coming out there for the mines, exactly. He blade slaved the granary, I guess, after these first two warriors, it looks like. Yeah, not the biggest fan of that, but guess it's fine. He could have just straight chopped it like the other guys, since they don't have any rushing units either. Alright, Elk sees the first hut. Let's see if he pops again. He's the one who definitely gets the most pops in this tournament. That would be huge, of course, in this deciding game if somebody got a huge boost like a pop. So would definitely swing the game immensely. On this map, the huts aren't quite as close to the starting locks, but this one in the middle here is, of course, the one that is pretty quick to get. I've also put these two on the side there, so those aren't going to be found, excuse me, until a good bit later. So there is that. With two citizens, I guess he's turning up the luxury slider quite a bit there. Although he's a bit unfortunate there. That's definitely unfair to him, quote unquote, that the luxuries aren't going to be in his expanded territory. So yeah. Again, this is not 100% symmetrical. I do realize the weak point of that, but I've made so many maps at this point in time that I've just got to use the older ones as well, and I can't adjust everything to new standards when we figure stuff out. So I hope people can realize this, although it's obviously gonna be frustrating in the spur of the moment when you feel like the other team's getting some advantage that you don't have. Alright, we'll see. It is actually pretty unfortunate for him. He's got the iron in cap and his teammate has the horse in cap. This is pretty unfortunate. His horses is really pretty far. He also moved away from it, right? So that's very unfortunate. He's pretty much he's the furthest removed from any horses that he could be, right? He has these ones, and these ones, but these are super far. Maybe he can road towards his teammate and they can just trade the resources that they need. That would be probably the easiest way for them to get what they need here. Oops. Yep, got to end the turn. Fair enough. Elk still hasn't taken the hut. Let's see if he ends up doing so soon. I'm very excited. If it wasn't Elk, I wouldn't even be making such a big deal of it, but he just always pops. He just can't help it. He just can't help it. It's super unfortunate there up north, I do agree. It's super unfortunate for Vivid and Readbob to not have their luxuries there, their resources that they need. So that is definitely, unfortunate. But we'll see how they can work around that. Should be manageable, I hope. I hope so, at least. The Celts do have some iron nearby, not like Vivid, who really has got to figure out a way to get those horses, because God knows it's not going to be easy. And those are the barbs popped by Elk now. Alright, so at least some redeeming RNG there. He's not happy about that, but of course, gotta see if that warrior can survive this encounter. We'll see, there he goes. Easy, alright. This guy is just made out of steel. Vivid's already super bummed out by this stuff. It is what it is, man. I really can't help you. It's unfortunate, of course, but you guys, I just want to reiterate that, not for Vivid, but for everybody, You guys explicitly wanted me to set up the starting locations randomly and not give the starting locations according to which civs you pick. You every time you asked me to do every time I try to balance it in a way where I set up the civs in spots that make sense and give roughly equal chances at victory for both teams. But you guys didn't want me to continue doing that, so I didn't. And now it's of course a disadvantage there. I can't disagree, but that's what the popular demand did ask for. So unfortunate. I just can't say anything other than unfortunate. This is still one of my favorite maps. I can't lie. It's just such a beautiful setup there. But I just think Rivet and Readbob aren't gonna be able to tech towards boats simply just because they have such important upgrades, as I said. Yeah, they're just not gonna have that much gold, at least not if they want to get those upgrades. Although it looks like Vivid might not be getting a huge amount of chariot upgrades in the first place, since he just doesn't have any horses nearby. That's so unfortunate, right? He moved away from all his horses by going towards the river, which is something that I could have seen coming. I do admit that. So yeah, I don't blame him really. Could have also moved north maybe, so that would be closer to his horses, but yeah, quite unfortunate for him there. I do agree. However, Abhi himself also very far away from any horses, so if he'd have picked Iroquois, he would be in the same sort of a spot, I would say. Alright, moving on though from talking about map imbalances, because I've already admitted that this one isn't symmetrical, so no issue to really keep talking about that. Abhi says he spotted the Iroquois. Let's see where he is. Oh, so he's walked all the way around there, and now seeing their border there across the lake, of course. So that's good news for him, figuring out about the enemy locks, and the northern team now also having a con with each other. It's a bit unfortunate that Readbob ended up expanding towards the east. I feel like he could have done himself a favor, expanding towards Vivid and then sharing the wheel, or sharing the horses, but I don't think he's had the technology yet, so he doesn't even know that he has horses in cap. That's just how it is. Yeah, not much to say there. Hey, thanks for dropping by here. In the chat, I really wish good luck to both these teams as well. It's gonna be a close one, and this one decides who moves on and who drops out. The last game of this series, winner moves on, loser is eliminated, as I said before. Yep, alright. Just gonna, oops, put the command in the chat once more, match up. Yep, there we are. It's 1-1. Vivid, excuse me, Elk found another hut, didn't he? My goodness. I'll try to get another spy out though now to the Iroquois and to the Mayans. I guess I just can't get a spy onto Vivid. That's sad. At least the one on Elk worked, so we'll have to wait a bit to find out about Vivid there up north. Alright, looking at what's going on though, Vivid did the double chop here, he's got the granary and the barracks out, and he's just getting warriors now, again, like he usually has. His problem right now is, I guess, that he doesn't have a luxury so far to pump with, and he also doesn't have horses, so he's really getting very little from this map. At least he has decent land and a river, so that's good news there for Iroquois players. But yeah, not a whole lot to work with right now. I do agree with that. He's gonna have to find a way to make the best of it, while his teammate over there, Readbob, has some pretty good stuff for himself. He has that forest deer, and he's got a river as well for as many cities as he would like. He might even go another one here or something like that. And yeah, Elk seems to have gotten the wheel from over there. And interestingly, he also already went for his GA unit there, so he can take that whenever he needs to. Unless, of course, yeah. Abhi already had the wheel, so they kind of wasted that hut, I would say. Size 6 for Vivid already. I think what he needs to do is find the nearest horses and then settle towards them. I think, I'm not sure. I didn't see Readbob offering in chat to trade horses with him. I think that's the most obvious solution there would just be getting the horses from your teammates. And over there, alright, so the last hut has already been taken. I don't need to do any settler plans anymore, though, is what that means, so glad about that. Good. Abhi and Vivid now making contact over here. Vivid realizing that he's been found out, but he should have well enough warriors out to be fine here for everything that they could send him in. I would really like him to plant here with the next city. He could then hook his luxuries as he likes to do, and he'd have that floodplain. And he's also, most crucially, gonna get closer to that road connection with the Readbob. This would definitely be the easiest way for him to get horses, in my mind. Maya declared war on the Celts. Let's see where that fighting is going on. Not quite sure where that was, but might have been up here. Again, not 100% sure where that was going, but didn't seem that. Lost move, iron, lost warrior. I guess he was trying to get onto that, maybe, and then lost out on it. Not 100% sure there. Alright, whatever it is, it's looking fine for both teams right now, I would say. Really, the northern team there in a great spot for the Celts, and Iroquois completely shafted. And in the southern team, we have the Mayans in a decent spot, and we have Babylon, but it's Babylon, you know? We'll see how he's gonna affect this game, but it's just Babylon. So I'm not too scared of them right now. Maybe that's unjustified, but we'll see. And Elk actually already going for his plant, looks like on the tobacco over here is what he's looking at. What I think right now. Vivid here, back to size 6. I thought he made a settler, but maybe just made a second worker because he's back to size 6 already. Yeah, he's just made a second worker. Alright, so there's that. Readbob early coastal plant there, so maybe they are looking for some map making, but I just doubt that they would do that. Just cause, yeah, they what's it? They need that gold for upgrades, I think. So yeah, probably no map making coming in this game around, but the southern team could very well do so. Elk now settling on the tobacco. Of course, you can plant on bonus commerce, so that's no issue. And he gets the fresh water source from the lake here. Also interesting that he chooses not to plant towards his teammate or towards this floodplain up here, but rather towards the enemy, which is pretty curious. But again, we have the Celt-Mayan matchup. I haven't even touched on that yet. But if you remember back to game 1 of this series, we had the Celt-Maya matchup between Abhi and Vivid. And Abhi was not able to fatally threaten Vivid on his Mayans there. I thought the Celt-Maya matchup was the best matchup in the game for the Celts, pretty much, right? Because it's really hard to kill Galax if you're Mayans. But Abhi really wasn't able to get enough Galax up to make it count, and he didn't even attempt to. He went for a pure archer push, therefore didn't get to use his most significant advantage. Also, already over here, we have Readbob getting out his settler, and that's a very interesting move, because that means he's either going to plant here on the floodplain or up here on the hill. I thought he was just going to go here for the safe city spot, but no, it looks like he might be going here or here, most likely on the hill, I would assume. Alright, they are trying to move into Babylon's territory end of this turn. We'll see how that plays out. There comes the move. Oh, I don't think Vivid did end up moving there. However, they are starting to move in there towards Abhi, who typically doesn't have a lot of units to start the game off. So maybe they can put some pressure there. Let's also check up here for what Abhi can do to the Iroquois, who just don't have any horses nearby. That's so unfortunate for them. But again, I really want to see some team play here and have those two guys connect their empires to trade those horses. That would be a very easy solution for their problem, and it's not all too far. Baby warrior could double your settler. Oh, is that so? Wait, which warrior? No, I don't think so. I think he's talking about this one, but it is, yeah, it is 3 away. I'm not sure there. Maybe he sees something and we don't. All right, over here. Readbob has now moved onto Abhi's tile here, blocking the forest. It's getting a bit uncomfortable there for Abhi, but of course 2 warriors alone aren't gonna be all too scary. Elk actually has a third settler out already. That's pretty surprising there. But he's Mayans, of course, and he wants to make sure that they don't fall behind early in score, which is something that has happened in every single game so far of this series. Vivid and Readbob usually pulling away with the score lead early. Let's check in with this one, how it's been going. And yeah, they are already massively ahead in score. My goodness, 14 score up is the northern team. Readbob here with the third city out already. Has this iron city there. All three cities on river. It's a beautiful spot for the Celts to be in, and they have connected their empires. They just need to make that road connection happen. Yeah, that would be really, really big for them to get that, because Vivid would then never have to worry about even reaching as far as any of these three horses that surround him right now. He's already going for that, well, not sure what he's doing with the worker there. Doesn't look like he has the road connected, but yeah. Over there, Abhi at least able to block his roads, which is the most important part of playing the warrior defense there. He's got enough warriors out to block all his tiles, although his cap is empty for now, which is, of course, not a big problem. Alright, and that's why Vivid is now chopping here. He's planted the hill city before roading there, of course, so makes sense. Can't complain about that. And I really like this move. They have already connected their two empires, and that means we should see Vivid's resource troubles be solved. Elk, meanwhile, down here, not worrying all that much about having stuff at home. Oops, I just wanted to try and plant that spy again onto Vivid. Yay, it finally worked. Alright, there we go. So Vivid here with the 8 warriors, just as usual. 11 warriors for the Celts. Everybody just making warriors. Other than Elk, of course, who has that 1 GA unit, but that's really all that they have in terms of military units. It's just warriors. No archers yet, no unique units yet for Babylon is what surprises me the most. I feel like at this point in the game he could have also already started making a couple, but I think he just needs the pure amount of units to block his tiles right now, therefore going for the cheaper ones in form of the warrior is what I think this is. Yeah, just 7 warriors. There is not all too many. Celts with the first archer for themselves. Not even sure that's necessary. Not even sure what he's gonna use that archer on, really, because there's no units in his land that he needs to clear out, I don't think. Looking pretty safe what they have right now. So not sure I like the archer. I think he could just keep taking warriors, although he might just be looking to reduce the unit support cost as much as possible, since again they're gonna be a little bit short on finances in this one, I think. So that might be the solution there. Alright. Pretty nice though for the northern team. I really can't complain. I feel like the underdogs here, Readbob and Vivid, have put themselves in a great spot to potentially steal this series. It's looking, of course, still very much open. Elk is pretty strong as well down south here with the 3 freshwater cities. No coastal ones though, so have to subtract some points for that. Yeah, they don't have a lot of pressure on the northern teams, and those are 2 big upgrade civs. They don't even need to both upgrade. If one of these guys gets a big upgrade of their unique unit, then that could just be what they need to go for a kill there onto Maya, who are typically very tough to defend with. Kann ich Kamera anmachen? Alright. Alright, I get to turn my camera on now. That's perfect. There we go. Welcome everybody. Oh my god, I look so good today, don't I? Alright. Not sure what that, yeah. Just give me a second here. Never mind. All good. All good. Alright, so, excuse me for that short intermezzo there. Meanwhile, not a lot has happened here, I don't think. Everybody's still trying to solidify their defensive positions. We have Babylon here in a little bit of trouble, but he's starting to fight, it looks like. Maybe has already lost a warrior there, I think. His issue is that he can't build archers to clear out these units, because if he wants to clear them out, he'd need to use a swordsman upgrade, or he needs to enter a GA. You know, right? He doesn't have archers, so if he uses the bowman, he gets an early GA that Abhi really doesn't like taking. Elk, meanwhile, doesn't have a lot of warriors there on the Celts that he can use to scout around a lot. He's got some decent positioning on these hills and mountains, but yeah. Oh, Readbob won the warrior versus javelin, he says. Must have been somewhere up north here with Elk trying to take that road or something. But apparently RNG really going in the Celts' favor there. And Vivid has got another settler out, I think. That's pretty interesting. Maybe he is actually going to try to go towards the horses, because I think he has to settle right here, right? That's the only spot that he's got left at this river that's not been taken by him or his teammate yet. And I can't picture him going all the way 3 tiles away. Alright, never mind that. I think he's going to plant the hill, though, declining the fresh water, because he can't play. You can't plant 3 tiles away without having the road even started. So, no, he's going to plant on that hill. Just going to try to increase the score is what they're primarily looking for, I would think. And Mayans now starting to make spearmen as well. I don't like it that Elk is playing this defensively. He could have a couple more units there up onto the Celts, and the spearman is not going to be of any use offensively since he's not gotten onto the iron anyways, and that would be the only tile where you would want a spearman in the offense, I think. Alright, that being said though, we see the expansion phase going very much according to plan for these guys, I think. Babylon maybe a little bit smaller than they would have liked, but here down south we have the Mayans planting their 4th city already, so Elk really not taking any breaks. I feel like, by the way, the Celts could already take a GA. Size 7 cap, I don't think you need a 4th city here. I think you can take a GA and start making Galax. 1 per turn out of cap soon. So, I feel like that's something that you could do. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I do agree. It is pretty tough, the horse situation over here. It's an extreme scenario, but I think it's very easy to share the Celtic ones, so there's no issue there, I don't think. He's already roading him, it looks like. But I think he's more so roading there because he wants to plant this city spot right there, is what I think. Grand River now planted on the hill as we assumed. Nothing special there. Of course, Abhi blocking the last river tile to plant on, so he couldn't even have planted there before clearing out that Babylonian warrior. And let's also take another look at what Abhi has got going on in his land. Looks like he's managed to clear out Vivid. Yeah, that's what it seems like, but Readbob still hanging around there with his 1 warrior on the forest. Abhi still slowly but surely making sure to get that land towards himself. He's got a 2nd workout, and other than that, only warriors for the time being. Let's check in with the other guys. The Mayans, as we said, nothing has changed. The Celts just making more and more. Oh, a bunch of archers and spearmen. Really wants to solidify his defensive positioning here and get that Gallic factory going here. I think he's already eroding that. Yup, looks like it. And he's gonna manage to pass the horse very, very soon there, as soon as that horse road is gonna be finished, which is gonna be this turn or next turn, I think. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting once Vivid gets to make a couple of chariots as well. Looks like the road isn't quite finished yet, though. Yes, it is. It is. So that's horse for Vivid as soon as he needs it. It's not a terribly late horse, alright? It's like turn 25 or what it is. Turn 29. So fair enough. I think you can work with that if you're the Iroquois. And yeah, I don't hate the situation for the northern team now. I think they're in a very good spot here. And of course, I have to highlight this. The game 1 victory was so huge for them because that gave them the side choice advantage. It's like winning a game on the road in basketball to start off the series, right? If you know about that, you would then swing the momentum big time in your favor. Because they lost the 2nd one, but they still have side selection now for the 3rd one. And therefore they got a good pairing here with Iroquois and Celts. I chatted a little bit with Vivid yesterday about their potential strategy for this game, and he chose to go for a different route than what we were talking about. So it's interesting to see that. But yeah, we see Abhi now noticing as well the score lead is tremendous. But what this means is, and I don't think Abhi is entirely aware of this, what this means is that they have pumped their luxury slider up. They didn't have any luxury to road early. So they would have had to turn up their luxury slider a lot to achieve this big of a score gap, meaning they can't go for a big upgrade. Elk should have rolled these spices, I think. I think if Readbob and Vivid's success in this playoffs has taught us anything, it's that early luxury roading can be big. All right, Vivid asking for a pause here. I'm asking if someone, yeah, I don't have the button on my screen, so would be pretty cool if someone could pause for him. I sadly can't do that since I don't have the button to do so. We will see if nobody ends up having the button. That would be pretty unfortunate there for Vivid. Let's see what's going on though. If he needs a pause, of course you can usually get a pause, but maybe it's physically impossible to give him one here. We'll see how this shakes out. If anybody ends up pressing. All right. All right, Vivid saying never mind, so we just play on, I guess. All right, yeah, sorry for Vivid there. Yeah, just physically impossible, it looks like. Readbob didn't know either how to do that. So, all right, they did get the horses for the Iroquois. That's big. They have a settler. Oh, he's gonna plant here. He's gonna plant there. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna research map making. Pretty sure they're not gonna, because they want that gold for their upgrades. But if they did, he's gonna plant there 100%. So that's gonna be great for us to look at. Horseback riding has already been tagged by Vivid. Is he already gonna look to take his GA? Would be surprising to me, but Celts have chosen to go for that fourth city. Elk has a good amount of... oh no, it's not. It's just one... Oh no, it's a warrior as well. So he got 2 workers? My god, I didn't catch that. Sorry about that. Again, the pause trouble, I guess, messing me up a bit here. But that means Elk gets his GA and gets 2 workers, it looks like, from the Celts. Let's check in. How many do they have left? 1. Yeah, he might have taken 2 there. It's pretty tough. But over here, the Iroquois are going to plant in that all-too-important city spot that I love to see, because that means they can make boating plays down here on Abhi. Again, of course, predicated by whether or not they're going to tech map making, which I don't really believe as of now that they're going to do that, especially since they don't need to get a kill if they can sit on this score lead. And it's 16 ahead in score, as Vivid and Abhi are equal, but the Celts are pulling ahead. They are racing ahead of the Mayans. Probably most likely due to their further apart city planting and their temple already being done there in Alesia. And I think he's probably also got temples in the other 2 cities pretty soon as well. So there's that. Irrigated floodplain there for the Mayans, of course, is gonna do some heavy lifting for them. So it's a very OP tile if you're agricultural, right? That's 4 food. My goodness, that's just dirty. 4 food for him there. It would be 5, but despotism penalty, so it's 4. Pretty tough. Pretty tough for the opponents. It's a difficult one, but is what it is. Is what it is. They have the advantage in scoring. That 1 floodplain tile isn't gonna cost them the game. They can irrigate their own one up here, so it's all fine and good. First bowman now out for Abhi, looks like. He needs that security more so than awarding his GA. And he's got the 3rd city planted as well. He's planted all his cities 3 apart. So he's gonna do some good work in terms of score as well. He's also got the border expanded in Nineveh already. So I do like that, right? He's well aware that this one is, as all the games in this series, gonna be heavily influenced by who gets ahead early in score. Because if you fall behind in score and the lead becomes too big for you to catch up via simple score pumping, then you are forced to go onto the offensive, and the offensive has not been very successfully executed in the games in this series so far. People have done a great job of solidifying their defensive positions, and this is looking pretty decent. It's looking pretty much like the same in this in this game right here. The Iroquois on their 4th city now as well. They have this beautiful one with the freshwater access too, and they can use that to boat down towards Abhi, which is something that he needs to consider. Over here, Elk hasn't built the canal city that would allow him to do the same, but of course he doesn't have really that many 2-movers, I don't think, to threaten the Celtic cities for now. Anyway, so that doesn't make a lot of a difference, I don't think. Alright, maybe one play that these two teams could make still is trying to get onto the enemy's luxuries that they haven't hooked yet. That could delay their scoring by quite a bit, and I would like to see plays such as these, right? People have in this series before denied each other important tiles such as cows to delay some crucial scoring, and I think you can do the same with luxury tiles as well, especially these ones like the gems, which are very tough to retake once you lose them. So maybe that's another way where they can edge out a little bit of a scoring lead for themselves. The Celts, let's take a look what they're doing right now. I think they could upgrade already. Oh, never mind. The iron is still not hooked. I just figured it would have been at this point. But yeah, 15 warriors is some decent threat. We have one mounted warrior already. So that's interesting, yeah. He's not in the G8 just yet, and he's last in MFG, it looks like. At least only better than me, which isn't saying much, I don't think. So, yeah, he's gonna need that GA in order to keep up with the production of his opponents, but maybe he doesn't even need to keep up with that production, since an upgrade could do some heavy lifting for him in terms of military strength. So commerce might just be what they need to what's it called? My goodness, to get the military that they need in order to threaten. But, and I cannot repeat this enough, they don't need to threaten the southern team right now, as war has been declared over here. Abhi apparently losing the... Oh, that's so tough. He loses the bowman, veteran bowman, against regular warrior without doing a point of damage, and the warrior promotes. So that's just super tough. No luxuries there by Readbob though. He just doesn't have any. Yeah, okay, this is a bit much. I should have given him some luxuries somewhere, but yeah, he doesn't have any. It's a bit tough. But actually, oh well, they do have the spices down here, so it's a bit weird. Not sure what I thought with that. Maybe it balances somehow. Maybe it balances out some other problem with this map that I'm not entirely aware of right now. But who cares, really? Who cares? That one luxury isn't gonna decide the game, is it? Alright, so let's see when Vivid takes that GA. He says he's gonna take it soon, so looking forward to that. Warrior requested by Abhi that he wants to enter his GA as well, which, you know, he failed to do against that Celtic warrior that's now promoted and even harder to kill. Elk does have some spearmen onto the Celts, which is a bit curious. Again, I don't think they do a lot there. He's just trying to block some good tiles, which is, of course, valuable. But more importantly, I feel like they really should... How to say this? Like, I don't think this does anything for them in terms of winning the game. It's annoying, sure, but the Celts don't need this tile to do their job, I don't think. Yeah, he wants the warrior there, so he can get his GA soon, is what he's thinking about. Maybe Readbob can deny it via killing the GA warrior that Elk is gonna send. So that could be what they are looking for. All right. So as both these guys, Vivid and Abhi, approach their golden ages, it's gonna there are gonna be a ton more military units getting pumped out pretty soon in this one. They are getting quite big. There are 4 cities for Vivid, 3 down here for Abhi, who is still big enough in score because of the border expand and of course the far apart plans that he's chosen to go for. So yeah, he's actually a little bit ahead of Vivid, although in total Readbob just completely carrying the scoring department here in this one. He's got the upgrade right now. Let's see how many Gallics there are. I don't think it's more than 2 or 3. It's only 1. Alright, so he's got that 1 Gallic upgrade. It doesn't have a lot of gold, I don't think. So he's gonna try to take his GA now and get more gold for more upgrades, I think. Vivid on his part can't do any more upgrades, of course, because he's already went for that one mounted. He's got horseback riding, so no more upgrades done for the Iroquois. But the Celts, of course, can always unhook that iron and go for more Gallic upgrades if they need to. Yeah, movement going on down here. Abhi sending his GA bowman. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Again, nobody really threatening each other for now. Vivid has crucially established the road connection between all his cities, and he's gotten this one as well. So he has a quick highway there between all his cities. Definitely giving him some extra security there. And falling behind in this one is pretty scary, I think. Not sure where he's going with that. He's taken the J. I think it must have been the warrior up here. Yep, it was. It was a close call, but Vivid ends up getting the GA, which is most important for him. Oh no, Abhi is getting a little bit stressed now. He wanted the warrior to be on that floodplain. No, 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 Readbob. Stay with us, man. Stay with us. Yes. There we go. Burning cap for Abhi too. Okay, so the pressure is definitely getting to him here down south. He's gotten another city out again, super far plant. So he's making sure to maximize the score that he's getting. Meanwhile, Elk still planting pretty narrow down here and hasn't gotten another city out in quite a while. The second Gallic has to come out for the Celts, and a second mounted warrior for the Iroquois as well, along with a settler. Mayans, yeah, Elk also has a settler. So he's gonna look for another city pretty sure, and I think he's gonna take this one. It would be the most logical decision, and yep, he's gonna get it. So both teams planting their spot that I really wanted them to plant because it opens up for grandiose boating plays. GA now taken by everybody other than Abhi, I think, although he might have already gotten it down here as well. From Elk, he could have hit over the river without me noticing, so there's that. Yeah, Vivid getting all the gold over to Readbob, of course, which is of course logical. He's the only one that can do any more upgrades. And yeah, next turn, all right, next turn, Abhi's gonna look to get his GA. So everybody's gonna be in GA then, although Elk's gonna run out pretty soon. That means that a ton of units are gonna get pumped out here. And there's the city planned for Elk. Beautiful, beautiful. Both teams now with that canal city, and again, I repeat, they can build ships there and land them over here, or on the other side, land them down here. And if a Vivid lands like 4 mounted warriors here, that could be a very surprising threat to Abhi's cities. That's definitely a threat to keep up with. Vivid is 3rd in MFG, he says, and that's surprising because, yeah, I think Abhi is gonna overtake him now. He's just gotten his GA over here from Elk, you can see. Bowman survived this time around, so all good for him. And he's gonna probably take back that 3rd spot in MFG, I would imagine, yeah. Alright, plus 16 gold per turn for Vivid is pretty good. He's got 5 cities, he's commercial as well, you know, so there's that. And yeah, it looks like Elk is actually the 1st in MFG, Readbob 2nd. Elk is the Mayans, of course, yeah, so he's always going to be 1st MFG. It looks like he's going to... Oh, no, he's not going to plant there, although I would imagine that's going to be what he's looking for. He's got a settler out, yeah, so he's going to plant on that hill there. Good defensive position. Although Elk can boat up here, I don't think on that hill it's all too much of a threat. He's got the walls and camel on him as well, so he's been pretty safe about his expansion so far. And with those Gallics now being upgraded too, yeah, we can expect a big military from Readbob soon. And again, this is the issue with this game. I think it's looking very good for the northern team right now. The issue being that they are up in score, and their opponents have chosen two civs who aren't really known for making big military pushes. Right? If you're Babylon and Maya, it's very difficult to build up a doom stack and kill somebody. You need to coordinate very well, which isn't something that their team is known for. Or you need to surprise somebody in order to get a kill most of the time. And on the contrary, Babylon, of course, is a very safe civ, but the Mayans are pretty tough to defend with sometimes, especially against the Celts once they get those Gallics going. Mayans are a terrible matchup for that. Although we have seen Vivid successfully defending in that matchup the last time around. Seems like, Yep, alright. With a couple of swordsmen, Elk now makes quick work of the sentries that the enemy have left in his land, so he's at least denying that vision that they had. Gallic per turn and cap now is of course huge there for Readbob. Interesting. Wow, he's really gotten that pretty quick, and that is big. Getting a Gallic per turn, my goodness, for these next, I guess it's going to be at least for the next 15 turns. That's going to be fucking scary there for the Southern team. Don't think they're going to be able to handle that very well. They need to do something about this, right? Because they are very far behind in score, and they're now getting outproduced militarily as well. So really, clock's ticking for them. The Northern team on the cusp of stealing this series right here. And from all the way of the bottom of the bracket, right? From seed 5 out of their Group A, they passed round 1 due to forfeit. I mean, that's fair enough. They won round 2 against the opposing group's 4th seed, Mac and Lucy. And now they're on the verge of stealing a best of 3 against their own group's 3rd seed that they have lost in the best of 1 matchup in the group stage. So if they complete this heist here, that's a big success for them. And that would mean they double, I think, their prize winnings with this one victory. 4% for the loser of this game, and I think the winner at least gets 8%, although I'm not 100% on that, so I'd have to double check. Alright, it's not all done yet, though. There's plenty of time for Abhi+Elq to come back in this one. I haven't calculated the score difference in quite a while, actually, so I should do that again to just be sure how much exactly this gap is right now. That would be pretty important to know, of course, before making definitive judgments. Let's check back in with that. Alright, so it's 226 versus 216. It's only 10. Alright, that's not a huge score gap. That is definitely able to be caught up in a reasonable manner, with or without a kill. But more worrisome probably right now is that exactly right here. Military power shifting over to the Celts. They have 6 Gallics already, and again, they're getting per turn out of the capital. We have a big army down there for Elk. Wow, that didn't even look as big, but he's got 8 of these 3 and then 6 javelin throwers as well, which is probably more than he should have in terms of effective army. Yeah, that's pretty big. All right, Abhi saying Celts is big in score, and that is true, but it's not a big score gap. 31 versus 22, it's 9. I think they even caught up. I think they even caught up a little bit in score this turn, so it's only 9. They are catching up 1 per turn right now, so that's pretty much irrelevant, the score gap, for the time being, crucially, right? For the time being, the gap is pretty irrelevant. It might be more important to worry about how you're going to defend against those Gallics. That is the crucial part in my mind. Let's check in whether or not they have any Kuras. The Iroquois have 1, the Celts have 1, Babylon's got none, and Elk I don't even think has a coastal. He only has the 1 down here, but he didn't make a Kura yet. So yeah, Kuras out only for the northern team so far. I'm gonna see where they got those sentries at. I don't see them right now. Vivid actually still expanding eastward, maybe looking to get towards this fur over here, is what he could be doing right now. Yeah, and over here the Celts just completely free of any pressure right now, getting those Gallics stacked up and ready. Vivid asked him to get walls up. I'm not sure. I think it's better for them to play for a kill right now. They are losing their score lead slowly but surely, and even if they recapture that by expanding a bit more, I think the easier bet would be to look for a kill onto the Mayans here. They have a big military, but I think if they coordinate it well enough, I think that the Iroquois and Celts should be able to get a kill there. So that might be the more efficient strategy for the victory here. Let's check in with the score situation. All right, we have 37 versus 28. Still 9 score ahead for the northern team. That is not elite where you can rest on your laurels, I think is the saying. So they gotta make sure to keep up that scoring. Definitely. Watch out for boat play from the lake. Okay, Vivid has read the map, at least in the way I want it to be read. This city is the crucial one to put pressure on your opponent. You gotta make sure that nothing comes through there and surprises you. This city needs to be very well defended. Good news, at least for them, is that Elk doesn't have any horses, or he has horses, but he's not built any horse units, so he's got no two movers to threaten Andromont with. So only Richborough is the one that Readbob needs to be cautious of right now. And that should be pretty easy. He's got the hill defensive bonus, he's got the walls done, and yeah, he has a big military in order to bolster those defenses, so no issue there. Vivid's Kurath, though, is right here. We can see that. Abhi sees it as well, though. Let's see if he communicates that to Elk, and if that changes at all what they are doing right now, because the Iroquois having the Kurath out right here not only puts naval pressure onto Abhi's defenses, but it also is a great sentry there. Gallic's now moving over here. Abhi has spotted them, but the point I want to get to is Vivid is apparently trying to road around here on the western side, roading around Abhi's vision so that he can maybe surprise him at home. He has the curve out right here, which gets spotted by the sentry here from Abhi, but in return, it also lets Vivid know where Abhi's got his sentries set up. So he can then safely road around those sentries and maybe surprise with a couple of mounted warriors Abhi at home. That could be pretty good. 5 warriors still left over to upgrade for Readbob, it looks like, and that's incredible since he has Gallic per turn in capital, remember. Pretty interesting to see how his finances are. Yeah, -6. Alright, so that's great news. Vivid has at least more than +6, so he can fully compensate for that army that Readbob's got going right now. Although I think he should be looking to get another city out somewhere just in the backline where he's quote-unquote safe. And get a naval sentry out right here or right here. So that would be pretty good. Abhi already asking to turn up the happiness slider earlier than last time around. So we'll see if that has a big effect on the scoring in this one. Vivid taking his time to road here. Maybe he's not even gonna road all the way down to Abhi. Maybe he's just trying to expand more and use the chops for his cities. That could be as well. He's moving up further with that Kurath, figuring out how Abhi's situation is currently looking. Abhi can't retaliate with any ships. Remember, this is an inland lake, so Abhi can't build any ships out of Ilipi. All he can do is catapult those Kuraths, but of course that won't sink him. So, yeah, that's where he's at right now. He's got to deal with that sentry Kurath just sitting there and staring at him without being able to clear it. Of course, the same thing would be true on the other side if Elk decided to make any Kuraths and send him up there towards the Celts. And yeah, Vivid and Readbob now positioning menacingly in Abhi's land, putting some pressure there, hindering his expansion, of course. And since he's planted super far apart, he's not got that many more city spots to increase his land area by a lot. Although he does have the border expand in every city and even the double border expand in Nineveh already. So he's getting some great scoring out of those. I do like that, right? He's playing the Babylonians to big potential. Elk has got another city out now, bottom pack down here, coastal, just for score increasement. I would think. And Elk thinking about getting map making here. He's realizing the strength of this potential boating play, although it's pretty tough to get something onto these Celts, I think. And yeah, Readbob also saying they need to keep planting. This turn I'm gonna check in again with what exactly oh, Vivid doesn't realize that Abhi can't build any boats in that lake, so that's big, right? You can't build any cities in any boats in that city. Excuse me. So he's not gonna he can't block any boats there, but he can get vision, which is just as important there. Increase lux now, or else we don't get score. All right, let's check in with the score. Actually, Abhi is very convinced that they need that luxury slider in order to catch up. Let's check. We have 57 versus 51. Yeah, they're already gaining, the southern team. So I don't think Abhi needs to freak out as much. It's more than 20 turns left. 22 turns left. And they're gaining score on them. Now being only, what was it? 51, 57. Only 6 score behind. It's pretty much... yeah, so it's of course better to start pumping that score early. But I don't think... yeah. lost get map making. Not sure what he means, but yeah, I think he's already in the negative just trying to attack for map making. So yeah, there's that. Maybe it's a better bet for the southern team to just go full out score pumping, screw map making, don't go for any boats, and just try and get more cities and that luxury slider up. That could be what they need for this one. But for now, they're still trying to do both. So we'll see how that works out for them. Good. So for now, the massive agency lies within the Celts. They have the Gallics. They have all the power right now. Let's check in with how many exactly they got. Celts, yeah, 18 Gallics. Good God. That's the most Gallics I've seen in this tournament so far, I think. Pretty decent, right? And they're still in GA and getting 1 per turn out of capital. So that's super scary for Mayans as well as Babylon. If they can coordinate that at all with its Iroquois, who has 9 mounted warriors, that's a pretty potent double move stack. I lost Horso, looks like. Not sure, did he? That's a bit weird. He shouldn't have lost it, I guess, but whatever. He can get it back, of course. So, yeah, no issue there. 20 turns left in the game right now. Clock is ticking for both teams, really, because the southern team is gaining in score. At least they have been in these last couple of turns. Let's check in. They have 64 versus 67. Oh my god, yeah, it's only 3 now. The southern team just made a massive jump in terms of score, despite Abhi+Elq burning here. Abhi+Elq also has a couple of catapults now and fires away at these Gallics on the mountain. Bit tough to land those shots, but I think it's good enough. They are getting a couple of hits off. Yep, that's 2 of those Gallics already hurt. So Readbob might be thinking twice about keeping those Gallics around just for a parade and no real offensive threat purposes. Over here, Vivid has positioned his units up further as well. Abhi sees those, so it's not like he's gonna get surprised there and get caught off guard. But Vivid is continuing to road along this route here. I don't think he has the time to complete the road all the way down to Abhi, but he's at least gonna get it closer. I think really, if you hit with 9 mounted warriors and 19 Gallic swordsmen, I think if you hit it, if you get a good 2-prompt attack onto the Mayans or the Babylonians, really, I feel like that could be a kill angle there. But we'll see. We'll see how they go about it, what they're gonna try, what type of play they make, and if they even have to make an offensive play, or if they can hold on to that score lead that they've had for these past 60 turns, right? That's gonna be crucial. How that score situation develops in these next couple of turns. Might kill next turn Naked City. Wait, what? Oh! Nah, there's no way. Nah. This would be too big. He moved in there even though Abhi saw the mounted warrior being there, and he's only got that one. Oh my god, what's going on here? Did he just leave all of that open like that? Why are these units there? I think he must have mismoved those units. Or he was gonna try to cover... No, I don't know. He must have mismoved all those units. Crucial screw up there for Abhi. And that could cost him the tournament life. He's got a ton of units there, but just not there where he needs them right now. I think he should be able to reinforce in time, so it's not... It doesn't look like the end of the world. Yeah, all right. So he's gotten those kills off. I thought these units were out of moves. But no, he's managed to salvage the situation. But over here, it's still a close call. Maybe Vivid gets a quick attack off and ends up taking that city. Doesn't look like it, I don't think. Yeah, there goes the attack. Abhi gets the bowman. So, whew, sigh of relief there for the southern team. That looked very scary, which it really shouldn't have been. But Abhi manages to survive there. Vivid and Readbob sneak in a couple of units, but losing them. And not accomplishing all too much. Don't get any road cuts, I don't think. And also don't get the kill, of course. So I think Abhi is fine with that. Bit scary, of course, for the time, but he's managed to salvage it. Alright, back in with the score. 78 versus 78. It's equal in score right now, so the southern team is gonna take the lead soon. And that puts pressure onto Vivid and Readbob to find a kill or expand more efficiently. It's really tough for them right now. Babylon just doing a terrific job. And I think Ilipi and Ashur are both gonna get another border expand pretty soon. So that would mean that that the land score is going to be enormous for Abhi. He's really made a surge in these last 20 turns there in terms of score, catching up and overtaking Vivid by a long shot. Those border expand are so efficient in getting the score up, really. So that's the most important part right now for him. Vivid's gonna get that settler probably just onto the first, or although he might also settle on the hill, which I wouldn't hate, but he might just go on to the first, since that's where what's it called, the luxury is at, and he doesn't need to wait for the road if he settles straight on it. We'll see though what he ends up going for. Luxuries is a big topic here. I have to admit that those aren't distributed in the exactly most fair and equal manner on this map. That's a bit sad. But I don't think it's terribly imbalanced either, so you can't really be all too pouty about that. Readbob now moving in there. He's gonna cut that luxury for the Mayans, so that could already have a big impact there, denying that luxury from them. That could diminish their score a lot. Trading a couple of Gallics for Swordsman down here, and I think he's probably gonna get that cut off. They don't have the gems over here, and maybe those secure backline spices really are a bit too much there, giving them a good score boost. But we'll see. We'll see how they can manage with that. It is looking a bit tough right now. They are behind by 1 in terms of score right now. The northern team is. So they have lost the lead for the first time in this game. They're gonna have to try and reclaim it as soon as they can, but are we gonna get another city out there pretty soon? And again, more cities means harder to defend, but it's also, with Babylon being the one who plants them, it's also a pretty quick border expand there, which leads to a ton of score if you can defend the city effectively. So that's what we're looking for. Readbob, though, putting pressure onto Elk. He's moved on to the 6, and I expect him to be cut this turn. He's fighting over here, but looks like not to great success. Abhi did get his city planned off, so he's gonna be happy with that. Vivid has another settler coming. I think the first one, yeah, moved on to the hill, and not sure where he's gonna go with the second one. So they are losing about 1 score per turn right now. I feel like with a couple more cities, 2 or 3 more, they might be able to equalize that, since I don't think the southern team can plant many more cities. Maybe 1 more down here or here for Elk, or here and here, but those aren't going to give them that much score. They don't have that much territory there, land area to claim, so I don't think they're going to get a ton of score. Looks a bit close here. I missed that push, I guess, for Readbob, but not too bad, apparently, since Elk did end up surviving. It's gonna come down to a game of inches again in terms of score, but maybe they can also make a military push that's gonna be enough for a kill eventually. We see another settler over here for Readbob, so definitely the northern team realizing that they can still turn this around in terms of score. I think a city back here would also be pretty good, since that's a bit more area for them to claim. But who knows? Who knows what they'll end up going for there. Abhi, meanwhile, I don't think he's gonna get any more cities down, at least not any that aren't already in his land area. So he's not gonna make a whole another jump in terms of score, although his scoring is pretty big at this point. So I think he's done enough right there. Elk, on the other hand, he might be able to get another, I don't know, 1, 2 off, but he needs to find a way to secure those cities then against the Celts, who are still very scary. The GAs should be ending pretty soon, or should already have ended for all the parties. I'm probably going for a couple more turns there, but what was I looking for actually? Oh, I just wanted to do the maths on the score again. So the scoring situation is in 94 versus 97. Yep, it's exactly 1 score per turn that the southern team is still gaining on their opponents. So with those additional settlers that Vivid has made, I think he can compensate for that. He's probably going to plant right here, I imagine, because that would be a pretty safe plant. And he's got a ton of cities right now, so he's also pretty vulnerable. But I don't think Abhi has the military capacity to do anything about it. Let's look at this. 23 Bowman is pretty decent, but I think he can't afford to spend more than 5 of those on the offense if he wants to stay safe against the Celts, who have 11 Galax only. Alright, so he's lost a ton down here, actually. I didn't realize this. But with all the shenanigans, he's lost about half the Galax that he's already had. So the military power of the Celts isn't as high as I thought anymore. And maybe that frees Abhi up to actually go for a bit of a push of his own there onto the Iroquois, who have a very long and drawn-out border right now. It's pretty scary for them to plan any further down towards the Babylonians, as Elk announces his luxury glider is all the way through the roof there, making sure that he gets the maximum possible score. Yeah. Vivid again, he's prioritizing luxuries. I guess he's just gonna colony over here to trade with Readbob. They really want to maximize that. And again, I'm not sure. I didn't take into account the luxury a whole lot while balancing this map, I don't think, because again, I made it a long time ago, like 1.5 months, I think. So maybe those luxuries really turn out to be a big difference maker here. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. It is definitely super close. My goodness. Alright, announcing in Discord one more that we're getting down to the close finale in this one. Oh my god, what's going on over here? I think he only fortified that. Don't think that that was a hit from Elk or anything. But on the contrary, it looks like it's actually Readbob who clears out Elk's units. Elk, meanwhile, roading up north here. Not sure he's gotten map making. Let's check in. Yeah, no, he doesn't have any galleys. So I didn't think he ended up. So I don't think he ended up taking or attacking map making all the way. Just focusing on the luxury slider instead. He's also managed to beat back the Celts on all fronts, it looked like. So his army, as I said earlier, was just very potent. Readbob, though, has some Galax left over here on Abhi. So he, again, it's not that many anymore. Abhi should have enough bowmen to defend it. And we see pretty much all his bowmen now being consolidated on that eastern front of his. He is definitely not able to make a military push as of now. We can say that. Elk apparently having yeah, we're gonna lose score unless we start gaining. That's some philosophical quote right there. I guess that it makes sense, but it sounds a bit funny. All right, we have 7 score versus 12. All right, 5 behind. It's really tough there. They can also try to prepare for a hit. I do agree, right? You can still look for a hit there onto Babylon, maybe hit Uruk and Nineveh. If you have like 15 Galax and 15 mounted, that could be promising. He didn't build that many more mounted though, but both these teams and all these players apparently having a couple of swordsmen just hanging around in the reserve to make any counter strikes. 14 swordsmen actually for Elk. My god. I think if he just sends those up north, he could already make a pretty big impact there onto Readbob, despite those only being 1 movers. He might also just end up boating those over. Could be his play as well. Not sure. For the time being, though, it looks like Elk is still being very defensive. He's not really pushing up north, I don't think, at least not into the enemy territory. But I do think that if he sends a couple units up here and up here, or if he sends a big stack up here and then boats some units over here, that could be quite threatening to Readbob. So, you know, there's that. Colony now coming out for the Iroquois, so they're gonna be able to trade those furs over here with the Celts. Not sure that's gonna do a lot. I'm not sure how the happiness is looking right now for the Celts, but I would imagine that they are getting into financial trouble now that the Iroquois also want to turn up their happiness slider considerably. So, yeah, fair enough. Oh, my tech's been going well, I see. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely getting a bit tough there for the northern team now. They were for a long time in a good spot, but Babylon just really the scoring kings right here. Being tough to outscore and keep down. It's 320 versus 315. Alright, so at least this turn, Vivid and Readbob didn't lose any further score. Maybe they can start turning the tides in this scoring war right now. Could be. Could be possible for them right now. No more settlers made by Elk. And one more for Abhi. None for the Celts. And two more for Vivid. Alright. So Vivid's gonna look to get two more cities out. I don't know where he's gonna plant them. Really, I would be surprised if he's able to plant them just over here in the west. Because I think Abhi could really punish that if he has a too far stretching border going on. So that I don't really know about. Alright. Let's check in. Let's make sure we don't miss any sneaky military pushes that any of these two sides make. Elk has moved in with a ton of units there into Readbob's land. I'm gonna steal military plans this turn from Readbob as well as Elk, I think, just to make sure we don't miss anything. Also interested where Vivid's gonna plant. Alright, he's gonna plant over here, I guess. Yep, there he goes. And the second plant, I'm not sure. Again, it's pretty... Maybe he's just gonna do it somewhere here or here. Or look to plant on this mountain as well. If you can defend it if you can defend it, then the most effective plant would be in the enemy land or at the border to take away their score as well as increase your own. That would be pretty good. Now let's take a look at the military of the Mayans. Alright, let's check in with all these units. So he has a ton in here. He can use those swordsmen to make a double move hit onto Richborough when he feels like he needs to. He doesn't have any galleys, so there's that. But yeah, the biggest part of his units are stationed in this and this city. I think he's got way more. I think he should move those spearmen up here. No real use for them down here, since Readbob can't hit him there without him noticing. So that's a bit weird in my opinion. He moves in further into Readbob's land though up north. Let's see what happens there. He still has his swordsman stack stationed in Copan, Elk does. So he can reinforce that stack that he's got up here. I think what he's trying to do is he's going to try and take that road and then double move with the swordsman stack onto Richborough and see whether or not that's going to be enough to get a kill over there. Meanwhile, still going to check in with Vivid where he's going to plant that second settler that he's got. Alright, he's going to plant it on that hill right there, it looks like, most likely. Although Abhi might be looking to do the same, since we know he's got another one. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure where exactly that second one is going. But we'll see for Abhi there, where he wants to plant, excuse me. Alright, now let's steal Readbob's military plans to see where he's got his units. How those are distributed. Oop. What? Celts. Here, that's what we want. Alright, where is it? Let's see. He's got decent defenses in that unit. In that city, excuse me. He doesn't have big stacks anymore, though. So that's pretty much all he got. He's spread thinner than I would have imagined. One Gallic down here, and Elk now moving on to the forest. I thought he might look for the road take and then send the swordsman stack into Richborough. That's the obvious play for him right now. Instead he moves over onto the forest, maybe trying to get towards the Celtic backline cities. At least that's what it looks like right now. Vivid, of course, looking for the plant over here, as we were saying. And yeah, so that's the most exciting front line right now. Readbob still hitting back there, so he's trying to take that tile away from Elk, making it difficult. Although he has more units in Copan, I think he has a ton of swordsmen, so he could just again hit back against those Gallics. That could be a never-ending battle over there. Vivid has got his next city down there, though, Centralia. I think his front line is very far stretched out now, though, so it might be possible for Abhi to move in with a ton of bowmen and take him out if he isn't careful and doesn't have a ton of defenses set up. How's his army looking? Alright, he has some decent military. I think that might be enough to hold Abhi off, but not if he doesn't have the roads that he needs and have the units stationed at the right places. John Walker's slave temple ASAP. Yup, agree, of course. You now want to take it to the max in terms of gathering score. I still would like to see Elk go for a double move onto Richborough and take this road. I think that is a feasible kill, although you might not want to do it since it's a walled city on a hill. So maybe I'm greatly underestimating the defensive strength of Readbob in that city. Okay, that being said, what's the scoring situation like? We have 40 versus 43. The Northern team is catching up again. It's only 3 behind now in score. This could come down to the last turn again. My God. For the final match of this best of 3, we have a real damn close one. It's real tough, right? We have Elk now reinforcing defensively instead of going forward aggressively, so he's gonna try to make sure to clear those Gallics out if he can before making any plays there up against Readbob. Whoop! Did he lose a size 1 or no? He must have dropped. This looks like a drop. Pretty sure this is a drop. I'm gonna make sure, but we would have seen that if that was a kill. All right, he doesn't even have any units there, so just making sure. But yeah, we're gonna reload that. Give me just a second. Where are we? Lobby is already back up. We are reloading the game right now, so bear with us. Bear with us as always. This is a real tough one. My God, I think it's only 12 turns left in the game, and the score is super, super tight. Each side could still realistically come out with a win in this one. After being late for the entire game, yeah. After being in the lead for the entire game, Readbob and Vivid had conceded and went down as far as 6 score, I believe, before turning it around and now climbing back up to 3 score behind only. 12 turns left, 3 score behind are Readbob and Vivid, although I didn't do the math in the most recent turn that just flipped before the drop. So, 12 turns left to play, 60 turns behind us, and the game is as good as tied, with the military now being about as strong on both sides, equally as strong. So I really don't know who's gonna come ahead and pull out as the victor of this one. With the most recent city plans being in favor of the northern team here, Readbob and Vivid, maybe they have the slight advantage in this one. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that's actually the case. Just waiting for the final check mark to come in, and then we can launch into the lobby. God, I love drinking. Not alcohol though, just some water and tea. My throat's really been working extra time in these last couple of days. Alright, there goes the launch. Alright. Into the lobby we go. Bear with us if you please. We should be done here pretty soon with the setup. Load game. Alright, looks all good. Nobody dropped. Check marks are coming in. Game about to be relaunched soon, it looks like. Alright, this is a close one. What a butt clencher of a game. I really don't know who's gonna win this one. It's so dang close, and the score lead keeps switching hands. So maybe it's really gonna be a last second kill that decides it. We'll see how it ends up going. Check marks coming in now. Only one player missing. Tension is building. 12 turns left to play. Whew. And Elk and Abhi are looking to move on against Readbob and Vivid, who are trying to steal the series in this last third deciding game. Alright, game is launching. Let's hope we get into it without any trouble. Wait, what? It's only 8 turns left? Oh my god, I thought we were 12 turns left, but it says right here, it's 8 turns left only. So, I guess it's only 8. It's the correct turn, so yeah. My god. 8 turns left. I completely lost track of time, it looks like. My god, alright, so it's really that much tenser already than I thought. Elk having penetrated into the enemy land there, as I show you guys the game. Here we go. Elk has his small amount of units there in the enemy land. We're gonna scout right there as well, just to make sure. He's got a pretty nice stack there, but of course that's gonna get cleared out sooner rather than later if he doesn't reinforce it with anything. He's got another settler over here. I don't like that. I think 8 turns before the end of the game, that settler's not gonna get him that much score anymore. Where is he gonna plant even? Here or whatever? Don't think that settler's the best of his ideas, but maybe I'll get proven wrong in the end. Who knows? Right, what's the score gap right now? We have 49 versus 50. Is it really just 1? Is the southern team ahead by 1 score? It looks like it. Oh my god, it's 1 score ahead for the southern team, so the northern team is looking to reclaim the lead in this next turn, and we're in the single-digit final turns. How is this close? How is this close? And we have a galley out for Elk now, so he finally has it. He does have map making research, so he might be looking to make a landing, and I don't think Red and Vivid know this just yet. That they have the map making on the other team, so that might be a surprise factor that he can pull out in order to try and surprise the opponents. We'll see. 7 turns left in the game. The score is of course going to be calculated shortly, but before that we're going to have to make sure that we don't miss any of the action if any fights break out. Abhi has successfully repelled all the Gallic swordsmen from his land, so whew, it's looking good for them in terms of surviving, at least. Doesn't look like the Kelso+Ricko are gonna find any kills, but maybe the southern team can now turn it around, and Elk making his push over here could be what they need in order to come back in this one. Yeah, again, I might just look to steal some more military plans there. As yeah, maybe the Celts. Maybe the Celts again, to try and see what they are defending with. Alright, you see over here what they got. It's not that many units. Oh yeah, especially Richborough. I think Elk could be making a push for this soon. 3 Kuras outs. He now sees the approaching galley from Elk, so that has gotta alarm him. Let's see how many galleys Elk really does have. Oops. Oh, I lost my spy there on him. I need to replant that if possible. Great. Alright, show me those units. He's only got that 1 galley. Alright, so he probably has units in there. Oh, never mind, he didn't. He just moved a warrior in. Alright, that's pretty funny. Maybe he's got 1 unit in there that he can use, but doesn't look like a whole lot's going on there. Alright. Abhi is right there. If Elk plants another city over here, that's not gonna do them a whole lot of good in terms of score. Yeah, that's tough, right? They need more land area, and the scoring is now 59 versus 57. Alright, 2 score up is the northern team. They are now gaining heavily, and the turn has flipped once more, so we'll see how big of a jump they made this time around. But it's looking tough now for the Southern team. Wow, after that great comeback they made in terms of score, they are now falling behind again because the Northern team just spammed cities in unoccupied territory while the Southern team wasn't able to threaten those new cities. They themselves didn't get out any in any spots that were well, that increased their score by that much. It looks like Elk did get a couple of pillages off over here, but it looks like that's it. His score seems to have been completely destroyed. And also, he apparently lost his galley over there against Readbob's Kura. So, it's also unfortunate for him on that front. Doesn't look like he's got any more galleys here, so they have repelled that. Alright, Abhi himself didn't make any galleys. He does have another settler out, though. And the Iroquois, no boats as well, of course. These guys all don't have any, what's it called? Any map making. They can't make any galleys. But these 3 Kuras for naval defense there from Readbob are pretty good, especially now that they know that the opponents do have galleys of their own. Alright. They say they're up by 5 now. I'm just going to believe them. Yep, they are. 5 score lead for the Northern team now. This is a big turnaround, and I don't think Abhi and Elk can come back in this one unless they get... what is it? What is it? They need a kill, I feel like. That's what I'm talking. Oh my god, I just blacked out, I guess. Got a bit distracted there by the Discord. But yeah, they need a kill, I think, at this point. They are falling behind in score quite a lot now. And they don't have the area. Up 7 is what Vivid says right now. So yeah, no way the Southern team can make a turnaround this big without getting the kill there. So Elk, I just want you to send in all the swordsmen to Ridgeborough and try to get that kill. I feel like that's the only play you can make right now. Doesn't look like he can get any of the roads anymore, so there's that. He's forced, my god, he's got a lot of pillages off here in the backline, it looks like. So he's forced Readbob to spread his army thin. I think that's the angle that he needs in order to get onto the Celts there and get the killing blow in the end. So maybe he has enough swordsmen. When we checked in earlier, he did have a big stack in Copan. I think that could be all that he needs in order to take it. It's only 11 of them left over. Alright, so I don't think those are going to be enough to take Ridgeborough. And maybe he's used up too many with his invades that he's made. So it's going to get tough here to look for a kill. Watch boat play, they got my boat sunk. Wait, what? Can he actually make boats in this lake? Really? I thought you can't make boats at an inland lake. But maybe he can due to this city being planned? No, I don't know. That's looking weird to me. But whatever it is. Apparently the boat is sunk. And it's only 5 turns left in this one. Northern team pulling ahead now in score by a quite relevant margin. So a kill is going to need to be found, if anything. 37 bowmen for Abhi. He might be able to actually take out Vivid if he consolidates all of them in one stack and finds a vulnerable target, maybe cuts the road where Vivid doesn't expect it. That would be his way, I think, in order to turn this one around. And he needs to find that kill pretty soon, I think, because the score lead keeps getting bigger, if I'm not mistaken. Now let's check in again. It's 86 versus 78. So it's 8 now. I think they need a kill within these next 2 turns or so in order to win this one. So good are the odds for the underdogs here that Abhi and Elk have their hands forced right now. They need to make something happen there, otherwise they can't turn it around anymore. Ah. Oh god, this is rough. This is really, really rough right now. Elk and Abhi, the 3rd seed out of their group, now on the verge of falling to Vivid and Readbob, who didn't. Well, let me get this straight. I think they didn't win a game in the group stage, and they've now won 3 out of their 4 tournament games. If they can close this one out nicely, Elk apparently didn't put up his stream after the reload for Abhi, so a communication breaking down a little bit over there, which can't be good news. I think Abhi needs to move in now for a kill there onto the Iroquois, otherwise it's gonna be too late. All right, yep. They are both looking to go for an attack. That makes sense. Yeah, right. They want to share screen to be able to coordinate better. He says he can't kill. Oh, and the mutes apparently weren't done either. So that's of course the most unfortunate part. Iroquois getting even another city out. It's looking so good. All they need to do right now is make sure they don't die. I don't even think these two settlers here are necessary, since Vivid already realized that they are not gonna lose unless they die. So I feel like just defend your cities, man. That's all you need for now. Abhi going for the offensive plant here and looking to double onto Centralia or Tonawanda, I think at the end of this turn. His tournament life is going to be staked on this push succeeding, and maybe Elk on the other side is going to throw all the units he's got up towards the Celts. We have the stack right here. I think that's like 12 swordsmen, or what is it? Yeah, 11. I guess that's all his 11 swordsmen, and a couple of javelins on top. That's what this tournament hinges on right now for Abhi and Elk. I don't think Elk can get the kill over here, since he didn't get the road cut. So I feel like Readbob should always survive this. Guess I'm just gonna investigate Richborough to see what he's got in there. Celts, investigate Richborough. Alright, he's got a couple in there. That's definitely enough, right? That's 4 or 5 archers, 4 or 5 Gallics. It's definitely enough to survive this stack. So Readbob is not gonna die against Elk over here. The thing is, everything and their entire tournament lives right now are gonna be staked on Abhi successfully pushing up north here. He's even leaving Nineveh empty. So if a double move out of Vivid succeeds here with a mounted warrior, they could even take this city with Abhi not paying attention. He does have a mounted warrior in range, so Abhi really playing with fire over here. Leaving this city open like that, but he feels like he needs all the potential units that he can get over on the western front and get the kill onto the Iroquois that way. That's what he's pushing for right now. Let's see if he can make it happen as the turn ends. I think that's where the game and this series is gonna be staked on, and we'll see. There goes the move in. I feel like he didn't choose. Oh, never mind. He goes towards Tonawanda, and he's hitting right now. We're going to look at the reinforcements coming in, but that's a ton of units. It might just be too much for Vivid to handle. Is he going to die there, or can he move in enough reinforcements in order to hold off the attack? It's still a ton of bowmen there, and he doesn't have a ton of units to defend for himself. He doesn't have that many 2 defense units, and oh, that archer, I don't think he went to move that there. It's getting tougher. He's got another swordsman. That's a good amount of defense. Meanwhile, over here, Elk didn't go for the attack, so all the action is going on right now over here on Tonawanda. Oh my god, it's getting close there. The swordsmen are dropping low on HP, but it's not that many bowmen left over. Maybe 2 or 3, but I think the attack is about to be over, and Vivid has survived. He's got the reinforcements that he needs, and he manages to hold off Abhi's attack right there. Couple of bowmen still over there at Centralia, but these cities are just walled on hills, so it's very tough for them to break them. Babylon's push failed. He's completely right with that. Another city out there for Iroquois. The score gap right now is, what is it? It's 4 versus 93? So it's 11. Alright. So the kill not coming through here means pretty much I think they would need 2 kills in the next turn in order to win this one. Elk has got to move all the units in. There's no whale, but I don't think those are enough in order to make a kill happen. Oh my god, how is this gonna turn out? It's looking more and more likely that the underdogs, the lower seeded Vivid and Readbob, can take the series right now. Abhi has correctly identified the kill to be imperative to his success chances. He's got another stack though. Maybe he can take Centralia in the same turn that Elk over here takes Richborough and take the win in this series. I doubt it's gonna happen, because there's just that many units over there for Readbob. But Abhi nonetheless tries for it. Valiant effort. He's got the stack hitting Centralia, and I'm not sure if it has enough reinforcements. But over here, this kill would have to come through as well. I believe, in order to equalize the scoring chances for the southern team. I don't think just one kill would be enough. Elk manages to take the road though, so maybe that's enough. But looks like he doesn't have the necessary units. Over here in the west, Abhi is hitting with the stack. They are getting low. Another archer is in there, but Vivid gets more and more reinforcements, and I think he's also defended against that stack. That's disaster for the southern team, and that's the serious over and done with. It looks like Elk hit with the stack, but it's already been defended, so that's it. That's the game. Both members here managed to survive in the northern side. It's 413 score versus just 400 in the south. They can't do it anymore. It's been a close series. All three games have definitely been interesting to watch. But when the dust settles here, after stealing the most important crucial game one, with side choice disadvantage, Vivid and Readbob are the ones gonna emerge victorious, move on in the tournament. Abhi and Elk are being eliminated right here. Congrats to these guys for winning 4% of the entire prize pool. Thank you so much for playing, and I'm sorry it didn't suffice for anything more. Was a great effort right here, close scoring game to close off the series, and they managed to hold off the final attack, Vivid and Readbob. Congratulations to these guys. They move on to the next round. And they are gonna face off against SDN and Archreaver for a spot in the semi-finals, as well as more prize money, of course. Vivid and Readbob, after finishing 5th in their group, are now gonna face off against the number 1 seed of their group, who they lost to as well. But, I mean, they lost every game on the group stage, and now they've won 3 out of 4 in the playoffs. So let's see who can stop them. After adopting their new scoring strategy, just pumping Luxury Slider and Luxury Roads, maybe they've just cracked the code here and can even topple the number 1 seed. We'll see that in the next round. But this first best of 3 of the playoffs has concluded. Congratulations, Vivid and Readbob. See you in the next round, and thank you so much for joining this tournament, my dear viewers, as well as Abhi and Elk for your participation. Means a lot, and I hope you enjoyed your stay in the tournament. Alright, by the way, we're gonna have another game coming up, so don't leave if you wanna see that. It's gonna start, I'm not exactly sure when, but of course, maybe grab a drink, grab something to eat. We're gonna have the second best of 3 of this tournament started off. The other side of the bracket, that being who is it? Ztatiz+Towel versus BossKelso+Ricko. So you definitely don't want to miss that one. The first playoff series for both these teams, since Kelso and Ricko got through the playoffs by disqualification of their opponents so far. So gonna be exciting to see those two teams face off in a best of 3. The first game gonna come in about 15 minutes, I would say it's gonna start. So stick around if you want to see that. I'm just gonna leave this screen on right now for you so you can see the draft. And that's it for this series. I'll see you in about 15. Welcome back to the draft, everybody. Second best of 3 of this tournament starting off. This match has the same stakes as the last best of 3 that you just saw. Alright, Kelso being funny in the chat right now. Yeah, this is the next best of 3. Same stakes as for Abhi+Elq versus Readbob+Vivid. Winner moves on, loser gets eliminated with 5% of the prize pool. Draft is going on right now. And the picks, oh my god, it's already finished. What? Well, that was quick. So we have Kelts for Kelso. It's BossKelso again. We know him, we love him. He picks them every time, almost, I think. But they haven't won a game yet. And that's the big drama of Kelso and Ricko's team. They haven't won, despite having... Yeah, looks like those picks are all final. My goodness, that was quick. Alright, we're launching the game. So yeah, Kelso and Ricko haven't won a game yet, despite having come close to victory many, many times. They've been really quite unfortunate in many of their games, or just made some blunders late on to throw a lead. That has happened to them, and that is, of course, the most unfortunate ever. So, yeah, they are looking to redeem themselves in their first tournament win, and they've made it so far in this tournament without winning a game. That is really funny, but they just haven't really been how to say this? Whoops. They've profited from people not showing up. This is how I should word it. They've profited from people not showing up because, yeah, scheduling difficulties. So all their opponents have been disqualified so far. That's why they are here. Despite having some great games in the group stage, they weren't able to secure any wins. And they haven't gotten to play in the playoffs yet. So they are looking to get the first win here. Now they are the lowest seed, so Ztatiz+Towel chose to go on the right side of the draft. But I feel like Babylon and Kelts is a very good draft, considering the fact that they did not they did not have side choice. I think they got themselves a very good draft here for the circumstances, and their opponents taking Celts and taking Zulu and Sumeria in the same draft is very curious, because in many drafts you would like to have at least one of those two civs. So them taking these two civs in the first draft of this series means they cannot pick either of these two civs in the next two games. So that could be a bit tough for them to then to find some good drafts later on in the series, especially once their opponent has side selection, if they win a game, that is. So might be a bit much to go for such a power pick draft early on, Zulu and Sumer, because those two civs typically fulfill a similar role. So it's a bit questionable, in my opinion, to go for that. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I guess the spy failed onto Samaria again. That's interesting. But you know, it is how it is. I'll show you the game right now. Everything has been set up. Only the spy on Samaria is still, or did fail, so I'll have to try for that again at some other point in time. And here we are. The setup is finished. For the next match, I think I will try to implement the map revealer. But for this one, we're just gonna roll like this. I don't want to implement too many changes at the same time. So for now, since I'm comfortable with the setup that we have now, I'm gonna try and implement that map revealer for the next match, I think. But let's roll with this as it is. Here we go. Game has started off. This is, as I would say, a pretty favorable map for the northern team, I would say. And now you can argue this, and I'm glad to hear other perspectives, on it as well, of course. So I'm always curious, but I feel like this is pretty nice if you're Celts. You have Iron and Cap, you have a long river to build along, and you don't have enemies very close, right? It takes forever for the Zulu to get over there, and the Sumerians aren't very close either. So it's a bit tough there, in my opinion, for the southern team to put any pressure on the enemy Celts, and the Babylonians have a lot of room to expand towards. So this map, I think, very much favors the northern teams. At least that's how I see it. Now we're gonna see how Towel and Ztatiz deal with that, and how they decide to play it. I'm not sure where the Zulu scout has actually gone. Oh, he must be somewhere up here in the fog of war or something, but I can't find him right now. He's the only one who has a scout, so worth keeping the eye out for him. Did I turn down my tech? Yes. All right. All good. There we go. So I'm gonna try and replant that spy in as soon as possible, but we're gonna wait a couple of turns. I heard that that's what you do to increase the chances. I don't know. I'm not a future modern scenario player, so who knows. Yeah, let's try and figure out where that Zulu scout went, though. I'm gonna try and see if I can catch him somewhere, but it looks pretty tough right now. No clue where that guy is at. Maybe he just went straight away east towards Sumeria. Yep, there he is. All right, gotcha, mate. Gotcha, there you are. Okay, nobody going for any chops. I don't even think the Celts did, because they only have that one forest, and it looks like they want to keep working it. So no chop there for Kelso. Yeah, that doesn't sound too unreasonable. So he probably working the forest right now. Roads up north, interestingly enough. Maybe looking for an early settler. That's why he wants the roads already. Location coming out a little bit late there. CD56. What is he talking about? His own location. All right. Good enough. So he gets that road completion pretty early on. Let's see what he uses it for. Has 2 warriors out already. It's classic Celts, but no early granary. It looks like he's pretty scared of the enemy Zulu, I assume, since he doesn't know how far they are actually away. This is a pretty far map, again. So I think that's good for Zulu and for Celts in Babylon. It most certainly is. Let's count the tiles. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 tiles away, everybody, from their closest enemy. And Zulu to Celts must be something like 15 tiles or something like that. So it's definitely tough for them to get pressure on the Celts early, which is, of course, what they would like to do ideally. Now, they have a good idea of where the enemies are at, I'm sure. They are sending up, at least that Sumerian Enkidu is already going upwards towards where they suspect the Celts of being. Not sure. Again, I'm always trying to keep track of the scouts that everybody has got going around, but I've already lost that track, so yeah, good spectator, aren't I? Alright, he's still hanging out there in the middle. Only 3 huts on this map is maybe a bit low, but as I said, I'll have like 3 to 5 huts on all the maps, and this is one where the huts are a little bit on the lower end, which I don't think is a big problem. 5C is, of course, Ricko's location, and they are going to get con pretty soon. These warriors already sent towards each other. Maybe I'll try to get that spy onto Sumeria now. Good, worked out. I'm glad with that. Good. So as this early game trickles along, and again, since this is a pretty spaced out map, I don't expect that much super early harassment. They don't even know exactly where their enemies are right now. So the number 1 priority for now is probably just expanding, figuring out where the enemies are, figuring out your and the enemy's resource situations, and then getting con with each other, which the northern team has already accomplished despite not having a scout. Southern team, of course, doing that long ago with that Zulu scout heading straight over there. So yeah, there's that. Probably quite content with how that early game turned out for them. Let's take a look at those units. They got everybody with the 2 workers plus 2 warriors plus worker, other than Zulu, who didn't build any additional units. So they are going straight for the barracks and getting those veteran impies as soon as they can. is what I think, and is what the standard Zulu play usually is. I think he just barely walked around that hut in the middle, which is pretty unfortunate. He came from that mountain, but he just can't seem to find any huts. This hut could easily have hosted up to, this map, excuse me, could easily have hosted up to 8 huts, I believe, but yeah, only 3 being there maybe is a bit of a nerf for the expansionist trade in that sense, but at least it's consistent with how the maps have been designed in this tournament so far. So he hasn't found any enemies yet, and he hasn't found any huts, which is quite underwhelming there for Towel, but of course I'm not going to blame him. He's doing his best, and he's just narrowly avoided that hut, as well as the Celtic warrior over here. So it might end up happening where the Zulu aren't actually the first ones to establish contact with the enemy here, as yeah, those Babylonians are also coming over with their warrior already. People so far not entirely sure where their opponents are, but here we go. That's the warrior moving down. Celts, but coming from north, that probably leads Towel to believe that the Celts are somewhere up here and not in fact over here in the east. So, and maybe that's a good thing actually for Kelso, that he's now showed his warrior coming down from north, leading Towel towards on a false track here in a sense. That's a very early settler. That's exactly what I anticipated for BossKelso. He's gotten that one out, and now Towel has started sending that Impy north, probably looking for the Celts. Well, he found that warrior as well, so gonna see what he's gonna be able to do with those Impy. It's definitely a bit underwhelming for them to play 2 choking civs and then be on a map that's so far spaced out, so far apart, and so much free land as this one. So they really got the short end of the stick here, I feel, which is a bit unfortunate for them. But they'll have to deal with it and see what they can make of it. Of course, they are already sending out their choking units, so maybe they can deny some resources from their enemy, but the Celts' iron should definitely be difficult for the southern team to get on. I don't think, yeah, I don't think they get iron working before them as well, since I believe Samaria starts with bronze working, but, well, actually he should have then probably researched iron working. So yeah, maybe they have iron working before the Celts find their own iron, but I believe that Kelso also is gonna pretty soon hit that tech and then start protecting his iron that he's got right there. At least that's what he should do, and be a bit careful there. He's now found the Celtic border, so that's good news for Towel. He's now got a more accurate information of where those Celts are at, and the Sumerians have also now reached that point. So both of the southern team members have showed themselves near the Celtic land. Celts are now going to be aware of that, and probably having that first city so early on, it is going to force to go for warriors only now for a while in order to keep himself safe against the incoming, or the possible incoming spam of chokers. He doesn't know that the Zulu are that far away, so all he's gonna do for now is probably stack up some units to defend himself against potential Impy and Enkidu coming onto him. Yeah. Hello, Elk. Thanks a lot for playing. Thanks for dropping by in the stream as well. I hope you enjoyed your stay in the tournament, and I'm very sad to see you go as early as this, but I hope you had your fun in the games that you got to play. You had some very good games, you had some very good pops. Good job popping every game, and maybe I'll see you in the next tournament, whenever that will be. Not sure. That middle hut, interestingly, is still left untouched. Nobody has found that yet. And the Celts, warriors in both their cities, looking pretty comfortable as they are right now. Don't have a ton of stuff to worry about for now. That's the only unit, is this Enkidu, I think, and that's the first settler out for Sumeria too. Right. So they are probably going to look to connect their 2 empires, get as big of a landmass as they possibly can. Now, the only advantage of playing Sumeria and Zulu when you have a big map like this is you can afford to plan very far apart, since you have good defensive units that can allow you, especially with Zulu, with the mobility of your defensive unit as well, that can allow you to do some far apart plans where you can more easily reinforce, even if you don't necessarily have the best road connections. The Impi are usually able to get to the cities you need to reinforce in time. So that's good. Maybe Towel can get a huge empire out, not in number of cities, but at least in terms of land area, is what they are probably hoping for right now. He's got that unprotected settler right there, bit risky there, but of course he's gonna get another imp out soon, I imagine. Oh well, might take a couple of turns, but all right, now he's already got the plant down, so that's next turn probably when that imp is gonna come out. Sumeria still edging around the Celtic land. The first imp has reached Babylon, so let's see how Ricko holds up against it. He's got his tiles, most importantly those that he's working right now, protected. No settler out yet for Babylon, so he's the only one that doesn't have that city, that second city planted, which means the early scoring is probably now going to go a little bit in favor of the southern team, despite, of course, Kelso being the only one with the agricultural trade in this one. Maybe he's gonna be able to carry that scoring load in the early game. But Ricko probably gonna go for another city soon as well, since there's not really that much pressure on him so far, let's be fair. Now he could already look to GA the Zulu. I think he has got enough warriors to do so. Yeah, 8 warriors. He can definitely afford to use one and attack this Impy. That would be a very good play. I would like to see him launch one into this Impy right now, so that he can force his enemy into a unfavorable golden age. Let's see if he does so. Doesn't seem like he's gonna do that anytime soon, although I would very much advise him to do so. Over here it looks like that's exactly what the Celts did, so that's GA already for Ztatiz, I think. And again, that's not very good, I don't think. On these first 2 cities, you don't usually want to be GA'd just yet. So another advantage for the northern team. They've got a very good map for themselves, and they've got the early GA for the Sumerians. So yeah, feeling a bit tough right now for the southern team. At least they have the city advantage, getting that delaying Babylon. So they are at least not behind in terms of city placement. Yeah, they are a little bit behind in score, 3 score behind right now, but maybe they can catch up by delaying Babylon further. They are very empty at home, so they have definitely made an effort to send everything they have on the... oh no, and I was wrong. That was no golden age yet for Sumeria. It was just a barb probably attacking this Enkidu, but now that's GA over to Ztatiz. Was a bit of a misjudgment here. Of course, the war declaration coming in right now means that only now is when Ztatiz has been forced into his GA, and he won't like that. That much I can tell you. The Zulu themselves, though, have not yet been hit. Again, he's got 9 warriors right now for just 1 city. Please hit that MP. I would appreciate that a lot if you could hit that guy. Would be a good play for Ricko to also force his other opponent into a GA, and I don't think the Zulu would get so strong off of it that you would have to fear for your life. We'll see. Alright, for the time being though, Towel still not being forced into his GA. Where did he go? Alright, he's going over probably to the Celts. Maybe he thinks it's more important to keep the Celts down than to actually harass the Babylonians, who are typically very difficult to kill. It looks like that's also where Ztatiz is sending, since yeah, it's just closer to him. So if they both want to attack the same enemy, then at least for the early game, the Celts are definitely the right choice. Interesting, Kelso popped a warrior actually here in the middle hut, I think. So even has another unit there to spare, just to go annoy Ztatiz in the south. Gonna make it so he can't send everything over there towards the Celts, although that 2 HP conscript is probably not too big a threat for those regular Enkidu over here. Now a couple of units are already here on Kelso, and as the settler is probably gonna come out onto this hill, is what I expect. That's what I feel like the obvious plan would be for Babylon. Impy moving over here. I think he might just try to block the iron, is what he's doing right now, but maybe they're not aware that the Celts do have one. Never mind, they are aware. They are aware. So, this spearman is probably... Oh, yeah, he's going to the iron. All right, he's secured the most important tile. I think, though, he's a bit low on units now, and he's probably going to try and protect his worker as well. But he's got another road unprotected, so... yeah, we'll see how he solves that one. Definitely interesting, gonna have to see. I have to plant my second city, since there's still huts on the map, and I don't want to ruin these guys' chances of popping. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Impy now moving in towards the Celts as well. Maybe they can actually make it so they can get a tile or something, and an improvement. They won the combat across the river, it looks like. Or maybe Kelso retreated. That's more likely, since no HP is missing on the Enkidu. So Kelso just barely holds on to all of his tile improvements and his roads, most importantly. That's what he really needs to keep safe. But he's losing a bit of control here. Had to dissolve his warrior wall in order to keep all the roads occupied. Now, there's only one warrior on all of those roads, so maybe Ztatiz is gonna look to try and hit that with those Enkidus next turn. Could be worthwhile, since that's a pretty crucial road, and the Celts don't have any alternative ones right now to reinforce their cities. I think that might be worth considering, or maybe you just want to block the Baroness grasslands and call that and take the small victory. Alright, we'll see what they go for. Maybe the Impy is also gonna hit there. We'll see. Alright, that's the second warrior, the reinforcement, but I think Andromon just built another worker or settler. I think it's probably a worker to hook the iron faster. So he wants to waste no time and get those Gallics out to get himself an early J as well. They are hitting Andromon now, though. That was really close. No. Oh my god, Alesia is empty. Oh my god. Oh. 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 No. Poor Kelso. He loses the... Oh. This guy is such a poor man. Oh. How are they losing in the most unfortunate circumstances every time? It's every time. They always get ahead and then they get... No. I have to laugh because it's so comedic, but... I can't believe it. Maybe Ricko can take 6 warriors or something. Yeah, he can take 6 warriors and try and hit Alesia. If he doesn't get the kill, he can GG. But maybe he can go for a 1v1 versus the versus the Sumerians. If he gets the kill onto Alesia. I don't think it's too outlandish to suggest that that might work. Send 6 warriors over. Even if there's 2 or 3 Impy in Alesia, there is a chance you take it. So I might try and go for that. Oh, no, man. That was the most painful thing I've seen in such a long while. And it's always these 2 guys as well. Oh, god damn it. Oh, that's so fucking annoying for them. Oh, what a... Yeah. I don't know. I cannot keep wallowing in this sorrow. It's just what it is, I guess. Babylon not sending anything. Maybe these 3 warriors are gonna try and retake. Yeah, that's possibly what that is. They lose the warrior over here, though. I guess Towel just gets the RNG every time and takes the warrior, gets the disbanded. I think it takes the worker, excuse me. Maybe there was 2 workers over there, actually. Decent double move, I guess, to punish Ricko, and it's now going everything south for Ricko and Kelso. Oh my god, he tried to protect everything as well as he could. Took the second warrior out of his cap. Then the 2 Enkidus hit, and I think they won both combats, probably. So then he had to reinforce with another unit from Alesia, but he really panicked there. The thing is that Towel didn't even unfortify his Impy yet. Yeah, so... yeah, so that would be... Oh my god. Yeah, Ricko considering the GG here. He wants to. What you mean? He can GG? Do you want to GG or you want to play on that? It's all on you. Whatever you want. Nobody's forcing you. Mm-hmm. It's all his choice. He can decide. Zimbabwe burning there. Towel, I see you. I see you. I'm not putting any pressure here on anybody. They can play as long as they want. Ugh. I have time. Let's see what these others say. God, of course, depends on everybody. Ricko, all right, he calls it a day. Very unfortunate there with his teammate, of course. But my God, this is a huge win. This should not have happened. I think this map was very favorable to Babylon Celts, but they get so damn unlucky again. It's just too unfortunate. Mm. But yeah, I'm gonna set up the next lobby, pick a new map. I haven't actually chosen a map for the second game right now, so we'll see how that goes. Give me a second. I'll pick a second map. Alright, for this one, we're actually gonna try and get the map revealer going. So, yeah, that would be exciting if we can make it happen. The draft is finished. We're already in game, actually, but yeah, as I said, I'm gonna have to reload it so the map revealer can take its effect. So we're just waiting for everybody to finish their first turns, and then, yeah, we can do the map revealing. Looks like everybody is finished. So I guess we can go ahead. Just taking a little while. Enjoy the draft screen, the artistic. So, yeah. All right. There we go. Give me a second there. Just setting it up. Yep, you do still see the draft screen, so that is good. So, where is that? Here we are. Bear with me here, as always. All right, looking good, looking good. Gonna get that lobby back up. Shouldn't take all too long, but we're about to get back into it. Back into it. Everybody in the lobby, we're loading the file right now. Yep. Load game. All right. Apparently it was successful. We're about to launch it. Let's hope. Let's hope the tech holds up. All right, launching right now. Finally, we get back in, and hopefully with a perfect spectator client. That's what we wish for, at least. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh god, it's so beautiful. My goodness, guys. I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna have to cry, aren't I? Perfect. Oh, how beautiful is this? Not sure you want this grid on or not, but it's looking great. Isn't this the best map you've ever seen? Look at this map. Look at this map. Look at this map. I've already warned them that this is an incredibly special map. But, yep. Here we go. We get rolling. Now all I have to do every turn is end my turn. How convenient is this? I even have my embassies left. Oh, this is so great. Thanks to Swade for giving me that tech, and it's looking pretty good. So let's hope this abomination of a map can be played sufficiently by these guys. Would be unfortunate for Ricko and Kelso to go out of the tournament while being on such a weird map, but you know, that's life. That's life. If you get a shit map, you just get hard rotted. And Ztatiz and Towel know exactly how that feels like. Alright. So, we'll have to see how these guys make use of this very specific, peculiar, whatever word you want to use, map. You can see how it looks for yourselves. It is exactly symmetrical, other than some very, very minor elements. It is a cross-map setup. So we have Towel and Ztatiz, north and south, versus east and west, Ricko and Kelso. It's a cross-map setup. It's 11 tiles until each enemy, so pretty far away. But you don't have a lot of land to expand towards. What you do have, however, is this surrounding barrier of land that you can use to settle and get luxuries or resources, as well as some huts even. So yeah, 8 huts on this map. Pretty big if you get towards the outer ring, that is. And the Zulu have already picked themselves up their first hut right here. These huts are again pretty nearby to each starting spot, so maybe that is something we're gonna have to look at for the next games. But so for the time being, it's just gonna have to be a ton of huts here, pretty close to everybody's starting spot, and the Zulu are looking to gobble all of them up. Let's see if they can actually do so. They are probably just gonna go make con with their ally first, is what I imagine. Again, for this one, I didn't change my color, so that's unfortunate. I thought I did that for the newer maps, but maybe this one isn't quite new enough. As these turns roll by without me having to scout any tiles, how beautiful is that? The Zulu have found themselves another hut right there, so maybe they're gonna pop right there. That's certainly still an opportunity, and they're gonna also get con next turn, I believe, already with their teammate. Or maybe they're also just gonna step on that hut, so we'll see how that works out for them. It's not a very mountainous or forested map, so easy to move through with double movers. Maybe the Aztecs and Zulu can use that for their advantage. The Iroquois as well, with a good upgrade, could make that work. The resources on this middle portion of the map are pretty far away from everybody's homeland. Right, so this iron and this horse is not easy to hook, especially if the enemy gets onto it. But you can easily hook these behind your capital if you actually end up taking map making. So that might be worthwhile for these guys. A pop over here, but it's just another conscript warrior for Towel this time around. So no shock there. And over here we have a conscript warrior pop for Zulu as well. Now this last remaining hut could be given over to Kelso, but I believe Ricko will much rather be the one to take that, since you usually want your expansionist to take the hut, obviously. Elk, I'm sorry, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer there. It's 10 minutes delay on stream, so takes a while, but yeah, this is a very weird worker move. I think there was a mismove by Ricko. What is it? Is he just scouting around with the worker? Is that what he's doing? Maybe. In any case, he's chopped his barracks, I assume, and that's a pop for him. Oh my god, I didn't notice that. He did end up being given that hut, and he pops. So congrats to him. I'm gonna try and get another spy off here on the Aztecs. Alright, this time around it worked. So we have all the spies, so we can take a look at their units. And that's a pop right there for the Ricko. Now he's gonna somehow have to get it back home without being found out by the Aztecs, who are already pretty nearby, and they have chosen the right avenue if they actually want to end up doing something to the Zulu. Oh my god, it's very close right here between the Zulu and the Aztecs. The first veteran jack has already been made for Towel, so if they're unlucky here, Kelso and Ricko, this could be a very quick tournament for them if Towel actually ends up getting something done with these Jaguars that he's got out. He's now found the Zulu border. This is tough. This might be a kill next turn if no Impy comes out of this city right here. Oh my god, he's gotten onto the hill. There he go. Oh my god. Oh. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh, he gets that move off so quickly. What the hell, Towel? That was the fastest move ever. But and this is not even the map's fault. This is not even the map's fault. This was a pretty far distance, 11 tiles from Tenochtitlan to Zimbabwe. He just beelines down there and gets the kill. I don't take any blame for that one, but super unfortunate for Towel and for Ricko and Kelso again. I've never seen somebody so unfortunate during an entire course of multiple games. I can't. It's my goodness. I'm just confirming 100% that they don't want to reload or anything. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Looks like no reload is gonna be insisted on. That's the quickest best of 3 I've ever seen. And alright. It's not as hype, not nearly as hype as the last one. It's 2 early kills, Ztatiz and Towel, ruthless there with those kills. Good game to these two guys. I'm just happy I got to test out the map revealer. It did work out very well. Ztatiz and Towel make quick work of their opponents here in their first playoffs round. Kelso and Ricko, thank you a lot for participating. You're gonna get that 4% of the prize pool that you've earned despite not getting a single win. I feel so bad for these guys. You can watch every single game of theirs in the tournament, other than this one, and I would argue they were at a winning position, or at least against Swade and Hoffman, in a winnable position at some point, and they never were able to pull through. It's so unfortunate for them. But congratulations to their 4% prize money. And Towel and Ztatiz excited to see these two guys go up against Swade and Hoffman once more to get a spot in the semi-final if they can. So that's what I look forward to right now. Semi-finals, quarterfinals are Ztatiz and Towel against Swade and Hoffman, with the latter ones having side choice, best of 3 series. And on the other side, it's going to be Readbob and Vivid against SDN and Artreaver, with SDN and Artreaver having side choice, also a best of 3. The winner of these 2 series moves on to play against Halu and Obi and Cheese and Red and those are going to be the semifinals, also best of 3 then. So with that, a rather quick stream here today. Sorry, this probably was more waiting than gameplay actually, but it is what it is. I thank you all for joining me a lot. Thanks for playing once more, Kelso and Ricko, and good luck in the next round for Ztatiz and Towel, as well as Readbob and Vivid, of course, from the previous series. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys for the next games, probably sometime next week. Stay tuned, follow the channel, and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss the games, or simply check the Steam and Discord groups where I announce the streams most of the time as well. Alright, thanks for participating, and I will see you guys for the next games next week.